Jacob is on the move, fleeing the fallout of his past. He receives a direct command from God to travel immediately to Bethel. Bethel is a geographical site in ancient Canaan whose name translates to House of God. His camp is weighed down by spiritual contamination. His household is harboring strange gods and physical idols collected during their years in exile. Before they can travel, Jacob takes a radical step. He demands his family surrender every idol and foreign earring, taking the entire collection and burying it deeply under an oak tree near Shechem. Shechem was an ancient Canaanite city located in the central mountain region. This purge yields an immediate geopolitical result. A terror of God falls upon the surrounding cities, freezing them in place and preventing them from pursuing Jacob's highly vulnerable family. To become the patriarch of a new nation, Jacob had to actively sever his household from its idolatrous past. Survival alone was insufficient. The physical journey required a spiritual cleansing. The family arrives safely at Luz, where Jacob constructs an altar named El Bethel. Luz was the early Canaanite name for the settlement, and El Bethel translates to the God of the house of God. God appears again, formally changing the patriarch's name from Jacob to Israel, meaning he who wrestles with God. The divine covenant delivered here is massive. God promises an entire company of nations, and a line of kings will descend from him. This bloodline is tied to a specific geographical weight. God grants him the exact lands previously promised to his grandfather Abraham and his father Isaac. Abraham and Isaac are the first two biblical patriarchs of the Hebrew people. To cement this communion, Jacob sets up a stone pillar at the site. He consecrates the marker by pouring a drink offering and oil over it. This moment secures the legal and spiritual foundation for the Israelite nation. It stands as the highest peak of Jacob's life, finalizing his transition from a fleeing exile to an ordained patriarch. The soaring divine promises are abruptly grounded by mortal reality. Deborah, the childhood nurse of Jacob's mother, dies and is buried under Alan Bakuth. Alan Bakuth is a Hebrew term meaning the oak of weeping. The family packs up and physically travels toward Ephrath. Ephrath is the ancient regional name for the area immediately surrounding Bethlehem. Before they can arrive, Rachel goes into sudden, severe labor. The close geographical proximity to the safety of Bethlehem directly contrasts with the impending tragedy. Jacob's most beloved wife is dying on the roadside. As she draws her dying breath, Rachel names the child Ben-Oni. Ben-Oni translates directly to son of my sorrow. Jacob immediately intervenes to alter the child's destiny, renaming the boy Benjamin. Benjamin is a name that means son of the right hand. The final son required to complete the 12 tribes is secured. However, this ultimate familial triumph is permanently scarred by the patriarch's deepest personal grief. The bereaved camp packs up again, spreading their tents beyond the Tower of Edar. The Tower of Edar was a pastoral watchtower used by shepherds to guard their flocks. Here, the ultimate familial betrayal takes place. Reuben commits incest by sleeping with Bilhah. Bilhah was Rachel's former handmaid and a concubine to Jacob. Reuben is Jacob's firstborn son. He defiles the family unit at the exact moment the roster of 12 sons is finally complete. The foundation of the 12 tribes is deeply contaminated by human sin. The text subverts any expectation of a perfect mythological family, presenting a reality that is thoroughly flawed. Jacob reaches his final destination, reuniting with his elderly father, Isaac, at Hebron. Hebron is an ancient city in the southern Judean hills, famous as the burial place of the patriarchs. Isaac lives to be 180 years old before passing away. The text describes him gently as giving up the ghost and being gathered unto his people. The two formerly estranged brothers, Esau and Jacob, peacefully bury their father together within these massive stone walls. This timeline maps the structural duality of Genesis 35. We see an oscillation between 3 divine communions on the top and 3 earthly tragedies, the deaths and Reuben's sin, on the bottom. The timeline converges, leaving the 12 sons as the enduring output of this journey. The eternal covenant of Israel was built in the dirt. It survived through the messy, painful, and mortal reality of the human condition, relying entirely on divine promise rather than human perfection.